Okay, Steve here, and today is Thursday, April 3rd, and Wednesday, Wednesday, April 3rd. I'm quite certain of that. And it's been a very alive time. So the last video I made was on April 1st, I'm pretty sure, on April Fool's Day, and then yesterday was a very interesting day. I woke up at between about 1 and 3, 1 and 4 in the morning um, in a series of lucid dreams. And I feel kind of intense, so I look kind of intense. I feel kind of intense, so just going to relax. And I woke up at about 1 o'clock in a lucid dream. And a lucid dream is that you're awake to the dream you're in, as opposed to when you're sleeping and you're in a dream and you just think you just are in that dream, but you're not aware that you're in that dream. That's my perception of it. So a lucid dream is when you're awake, not in the sleep world, you're in awake. You come awake while you're in the dream world, and so you're both in the dream world and awake at the same time. To me, that's a lucid dream. And so that's occurred to me on numerous occasions. But it occurred on Tuesday morning, about 1 o'clock. I awoke from the sleep world, and I was in a dream world, and I was able to stay in that lucid state in the dream world. And in the dream world, it was suggested to me that I listen to a video I had made for one of my private clients with the Hathors sounding through me for her healing, for her energetic changes that she was going through, and assisting her in that. But when I set up the field to make the video for her, I stated out loud, I choose to work with the Hathors. And I came to know that the video that I was making for her was going to have an effect on me. So I was led to become aware that that was what was going to happen. I was making this video for her, but I was going to be affected by it. So that's frequently what happens in all the healing sessions. So I I listened to that video. I actually just put it on the audio portion of it and just closed my eyes but stayed awake to the dream I was having while listening to these sounds that the Hathors were making. It was a pretty fun sort of evening for a person like me. I don't know if it would be fun for other people, but for me it was a very fun few hours. It either went to, from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. I'm not exactly sure. But then I woke up later on that morning and I was very, I had gone back to sleep, and when I woke up, I was very present. And I ended up going through a series of things that I had kind of put off for a bit, and I felt like I wanted to accomplish. They're simple things. They were like, doing a little grocery shopping, some recycling, driving up the island and returning a disc that I had found of somebody's, and there was a drop box for me to drive up there and put it in and do some a little grocery shopping at Three Sisters Market, where I met this really interesting woman and had a half-hour conversation in the market, a small market in a quarter, about the state of the world and how we're working with it. It was pretty interesting. So, by the title of this, I'll put a title on this video. but the title is going to be uh, about this video is going to be about a seasonal tarot reading that I did for the world. So lately I've done a number of tarot readings for the world, but they were just like past, present, future, that what we're working with during this time period and things like that. So there's this also tarot reading that you can do for a season. So this is spring, so spring into summer. And there's a way that you can do this in the book that I work with. So it's a workbook on tarot, and so I worked with the it's titled The Path of Balance. And I tried to make a video earlier, but had a difficult time making it. So I'm going to see if I can hold this up in a way that you can see Path of Balance. I'm just going to move it up to cover the bottom page. And so you can refer to this or write it down, whatever you want to do. But I'll be talking about it so you can just listen. But I found it was fascinating when I pulled these cards. So I shuffle these cards and I cut these cards and I shuffle them and I cut them and I mix them up just as much as I can. And then I, with the intention of cutting to the cards that would be in the highest good, I cut them and then start at the top. So there were 6 cards. If you stop and look at that page that I showed you, excuse me, there on that page it talks about it mentions the magician, and the magician is the card related to the head, and it's about our communication, our current communication mode, and there's 6 of these cards that we're going to pick, and each of them relate to the 6 major arcana. So the major arcanas are, the 6 major arcanas are 1 through 6, and there's 22 major arcanas. We're not going to, 7 up till 22 or 0, we're not going to cover. In this particular reading, we're just covering the major arcanas 1 through 6, and so they are the magician, which is this, in this case, is related to the head, the High Priestess, which, and I don't know how complex I want this to get, because this book was published in the 70s or 80s. I could go back and look again, but it might have been 87 when it was published. But at that time, it was prior to this pole shift. So this pole shift has to do with a divine masculine and feminine energies. So this is speaking of the right side being related to the male energies and the left side being related to the female energies. But in this new polarity we're in, it's now the right side being related to the female energies, the outgoing energies, and the left side being related to the masculine energies, which are now the receptive energies or incoming energies. So we can talk about this. You can ask questions about it. It took me a while to understand that part of this polarity shift we're shifting into the earth being masculine energetically and the field around the earth being feminine. And it was just the opposite for the last 13,000 years. So at the end of that 13,000 years, where it was kind of a patriarchal, energetic around the earth, it was male dominated, male oriented. So we're going into 13,000 years of the feminine power around the earth. And so, whether you believe it or not, whether you like it or not, just whatever. I'm just going to say it's what's happening. And I trust the beings that let me know that this is what's happening. So we're going to do this reading based on the head and, let's say, the shoulder, the right shoulder being feminine now, the right shoulder having to do with the High Priestess and self-esteem and intuition. The right hip having to do with the feminine, the Empress, the emotional expression, one's love nature, and the ability to give and receive. And that's 1, Major Arcana 1, Magician, 2, High Priestess, 3, Empress. Then we switch over to, we go from the right hip to the left hip to the Emperor, which is personal power, energy and leadership, ability to initiate. Go up to the left shoulder is the Hierophant, which is Major Arcana number 5. The Hierophant is the inner teacher, the lessons and opportunities within. And then the last card in the Major Arcana for this reading is related to the feet, the legs and the feet. It's our ability to maintain balance, and it has to do with the Lovers, Major Arcana number 6, the Lovers card, which has to do with our quality of relationship. And I apologize, I don't have this set up as well as I would like. I have something that's holding my computer, keep it from falling off, this little thing I've made. But I don't have a good place to store a book where I can actually look at it slightly to the side. I have to look down and look up, and we'll get better at this, and I apologize. So, for the area number 1, which is the head, which is the Major Arcana is the Magician. So this is our current communication mode. What we got for that was the Prince of Cups. And so the Prince of Cups this is what's going on in our head. So the Prince of Cups is the mastery of emotional desire. And I think all of this is very interesting, and I hope you will find it interesting as well, because, boy, the world's just opening up. So the Prince of Cups is a visual representation of the passionate heart and mastery of emotional desire. The symbols which specifically illustrate emotional desire and transformation are the snake emerging from the cup and the eagles, one pulling the chariot and the other sitting upon the prince's helmet. The eagles and the snake both represent the astrological sign of Scorpio, a sign known for its emotional passion, desire, and transformation. The Prince of Cups is the lover. So we're talking about the head being the lover. This is just powerful. This is so powerful. Within each individual that expresses and experiences emotional passion deeply from the head. You just don't know how good this is, but you're going to find out. Desire ignites the heart and propels us forward. This is a picture of an individual who's willing to face and experience his desire, the snake in the cup, and at the same time he's willing to let go of that which is desired when necessary to do so. The lotus held in his hand, turned upside down, ready to be released. So mastery of desire is the capacity to simultaneously move forward and let go, which is exactly what we're doing right now. The symbol of the Prince of Cups is a visual portraiture of dynamic emotional desire, which is expressed and mastered by the animus figure within. Okay, that's number 1 in this reading. The second aspect of this reading is, as I said, it's from the I think I have it on this. The number 2 card that we pick is the High Priestess, and it's about self-esteem and intuition. So kind of understand this. So the card that's represented from this area of the reading is the High Priestess, and the card that we got, I kid you not, for this area, for our reading, is the High Priestess. There it is. And so, people who actually understand who understand tarot will understand what an amazing coincidence that it would be that the card we'd get for the High Priestess area out of a deck of however many cards there are, quite a few of them. There's 20, and then 10, 40, 60, 60, plus there's, I think, 16, 67. There's 76 cards or something. So out of 76 cards, we picked the card related to that area. So we have the High Priestess for card number 2, which is the feminine. And the High Priestess represents the universal principle of intuition, independence, self-trust, and self-resourcefulness. This is an androgynous figure who archetypically represents balance. From the navel up, the figure is all curved lines, soft, magnetic yin, and receptive. From the navel down, this figure is all straight lines, strong, dynamic yang, and assertive. This archetype serves as a reminder that we are not to sacrifice our strength for our softness or our softness for our strength. The High Priestess with her sun moon crown represents each person's commitment to have equal balance in strength and softness, balance in their male and their female, and an ending of this polarization within ourselves as a being. So if you want to, right at this moment, you can say, I connect to my deep self. Notice what happens, and you can say this anytime you want. I connect to my deep self. Moving on to the right hip area, which is in the Major Arcana, the Empress Card, which has to do with love, nature. Yeah, has to do with love and nature. And so the Empress Card is a love and nature card, and the card we got for this area in our reading was the 2 of Cups, which is the love card. So for the love area, we got the love card. I think it's significant. So we'll go to the 2 of Cups, and we'll read about the love card. So the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is love. This represents the type of love that is nurturing, creative, inspirational, clear, and equally fulfilling. This is love that represents strong communication, is symbolized by the red dolphins in total expression to each other. It's love that is internally experienced as well as externally experienced, which is reflected by the double pink lotus blossoms, representing the concept of as above, so below, as within, so without. The Two of Cups represents love that is equal and special, which is symbolized by the equally filled cups. It's about love that is balanced with the love within one's nature, with the love outside one's nature, with the love of one individual and their partnership with another individual, a love of balance. That is love's nature, and nature loves balance. Okay, so from there we go to the Emperor card, and the Emperor is the number 4, and the Emperor is related to the left hip, and it's personal power leadership. So it's our personal power and our leadership, and what we got is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is pleasure. So for our leadership card, we got the pleasure card. This card represents emotional pleasure that is healing, like the copper cups, and revitalizing, like the orange lotus blossoms, and renewing and regenerating, like the snakes coiled within the cups. This is pleasure that is very deeply nurturing, which is symbolized by the astrological aspect of Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio is the astrological sign that experiences life at very deep levels. When you pull this card, it indicates within the next 6 weeks, the next 6 months, there is an emotional determination to bring pleasure into your life that is renewing, revitalizing, and regenerating. And I would say that this is going to be happening within the next 3 months, because we are working with the spring reading, so spring towards summer. So the next card that we got, which is the left shoulder, which is the Hierophant, the teacher and learner, and what we got for that card was the Empress card. So for the male side, for the teacher, we got the Empress. And what that says to me is that we're coming into a period of time when we best be ready to learn from those who are in female form. And I'm not saying to learn from your mother, although it's okay to learn from your mother, but this new female who's coming in, and how they need to be respected and how they need to be honored, and who they are, who these new divine goddess beings are that are incarnating, are not necessarily their mother's daughters. These, all of you, I mean, all of you who are here, whether you be, a 6-year-old goddess or a 70-year-old goddess, you're all here for this transition period. So you're powerful. You're just very powerful. So what I'm saying is when we get the card for the teaching, learning card is the Empress, I'm just saying that it may be time for men who are having to give up control of the world to begin listening to the intuitive, creative women in their life who may make some suggestions that go against their belief systems or whatever, their natures or behaviors, whatever, and open up to the possibility that a more creative way may come that may lead to the whole opening up of consciousness for men and women. But I think it's interesting on the male side to get this powerful, powerful female card. And already we have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, and possibly I think the last one, yeah. So we have at least, yeah, of the 6 cards, we have 4 trump cards. It's going to be a big 3 months. Let's just know that. So that was the Empress card. The Teacher card is the principle of love with wisdom. She's a symbol of humankind's ability to extend love and to receive love. The Greeks referred to this symbol as Demeter, the Earth Mother. Mythically, this archetype is also seen as Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and creative power. In Jungian psychology, she is the anima, the feminine nature. Behind the Empress, the moon shines through the veils that fall from her crown. The moon is the Western symbol for feminine, magnetic nature. She is the goddess principle, or what the Orientals would refer to as the power of yin energy. We're currently on a very yin planet. I would say fasten your seatbelts. So the very last card is the balance card. It's the legs, it's the ankles, it's the feet, it's our grounding, and it's about relationship, balance and relationship. So I'm going to and the lovers card, and what we got for that was just another 17 of trumps, which is the star card. So for our balance, for our loving relationships, we got the star card, which has to do with the universal principle of self-esteem and confidence. So to be in balance, to be grounded and in balance on the earth, will have to do with us finding through our deep self-esteem and confidence. And we don't have to jump into this. We can just let this emerge. Let our self-esteem and our confidence emerge. It's a state of radiance and confidence that is neither inflated nor deflated. The quality of looking within and trusting what is there is symbolized by the figure looking toward the guiding star within the cup she holds. The word confidence comes from the root base to confide. Confidence is the ability to confide in and trust oneself. Trust oneself. That's where your balance will come from. This deep confidence allows us to fully radiate and be expressive of who we are. When we trust our inner guidance and direction, we see things more clearly and become more spontaneous, like flowing water with our feelings. In major religions, the star symbolizes the guiding light, like the Star of Bethlehem and the Star of David. In astrology, the star is Aquarius, the area of time we're moving into, the age of Aquarius. The water bearer, symbol of the innovative and creative mind. The 2 7-pointed stars are spinning their way toward Earth. On this card, represent the radiance and confidence of our inherent light or life force that has every intention of actualizing creative ideas on earth through our own natures. And when we think of so, I'm just going to suggest that the next, 2.5 towards 3 months of this springtime is going to be some of the most massive changes on the planet that you've ever experienced. My recommendation is to use the information from these cards, and boy, it's I will find a way to deliver this information possibly more succinctly and more clearly. And sometimes with less excitement. But I've been very excited yesterday, all day. Everything felt like in the flow. Today I felt like my consciousness was altered. Last night in the dream world, I slept just through the night deeply and restfully. Kind of for the first time in 7 months, I've just had this deep, restful sleep. I felt for the last 7 months I've been working all night. And this last night, I just felt like I was just in this peaceful, wonderful place in the dream world. So I feel like these heavy energies that I felt for the last 7 months are being cleared by my going deep within myself, into my deep self, at the core of my being, in the pranic tube, in the center of the spine, in the meninges, in the cerebral spinal fluid, with the kundalini energy running up and down, and up and down, and up and down, opening the crown chakras, opening the root chakras, letting energy just begin to move like a fountain going out all around us. And really feel like you can just watch this video over and over again and see each time you watch it, if you can just pause it and get a sense of what each card is offering to you. Go deep inside yourself, find that deep self where you will find self-confidence and self-esteem. That's in your deep self. That's who you are at the deepest level. And it's available to us now. And it's worth spending time with. And no pressure and no judgment on yourself. Oh, I'm not in my deep self. Oh, I don't know if I found my deep self. Oh, I really need to do this because this talking head named Steve told me I need to connect with my deep self. No, I'm not telling you need to connect with your deep self. I'm saying that you can connect with your deep self by stating, I connect out loud. I connect with my deep self. And if you find yourself in a place of peace, in a place of calm, in a place of self-acceptance, you are in your deep self. And then how long you can stay in it, it's up to you and what is best for you. If you find yourself, oh, I'm out of my deep self, and you feel like, oh, it'd be good for me to connect again, state out loud, I connect with my deep self, go back into that place of peace, that place of calm, in that place of self-acceptance, and just breathe in it. Just feel the energy move up and down your spine. Open up your crown chakra. Feel that fountain of love and light pour out through the top of your head and come back into your feet, and just keep going out and coming back in again. And if you have questions, and I can answer them, I don't know that I can, but if I can answer them, honestly, from experience, I will. If you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Um, I will read them, and I will see if I sense to have an answer to what you're asking. But I I was I attempted to make this video earlier today, but I just couldn't pull it together. But I hope this works out well for you, and I look forward to hearing what your comments are and if it affects a change for you. So, as always, I am Steve, and you are you. And together we are a team, because there is an I in team if you spell it Tiam, and there's an I in team. And that's the way I spell it, because I can spell it any way I want. And with that, I'll say Namasko.